It is Monday. It is the Cam Show, powered by Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Braden Murray joining us later on in the show. And I start with yours, mine, our Boston Celtics. God's gift to the game of basketball and the 2024 and 18-time World Champion Boston Celtics, who just, a week after they won the title, Wyc Grousbeck announces they're up for sale. We're going to pay all these guys a ton of money. We know that second apron, that luxury tax is coming in through the door in a few years. We're putting it up for sale. We've got 2 championships now with this ownership group. Feel like we've done a pretty good job, and by the next few years, we want someone else to be owning this team. And naturally, the first name that came up in Boston was Fenway Sports Group. John Henry, Tom Werner, the rest of the gang. And recently as this weekend, USA Today and the New York Post both reporting that there is a strong possibility that FSG will be the new owners of the Boston Celtics when that sale goes through, which Wyc Grousbeck is hoping to make that sale go through, or at least start to get the framework of it by early 2025, which is in a few months. And that would be a disaster. That would be a disaster for the Boston Celtics if John Henry and Tom Werner and Fenway Sports Group owned the team. Just a disaster. For a couple of reasons. I mean, we have seen the mismanagement of the Red Sox in the past few years. We have seen Liverpool FC, one of my other favorite teams, and one of the FSG holdings, have be heavily criticized for not spending enough. They could have had the best player, what is now probably the best player in the world, 2 years ago in Jude Bellingham, and they didn't pony up the cost for him. They didn't pony up 100 million pounds, which is what he was always going to go for. So in the past few years, you didn't get Jude Bellingham in the door. You also traded Mookie Betts a year after he won the MVP, and somehow the team, with any given year, the 3rd or 4th highest payroll in baseball, without a salary cap, could not attract the best position player in the game at the time in Mookie Betts. How does that happen? They also own the Penguins. And if you watched hockey, you'll realize that the Penguins did not make the playoffs this year. It was the first time since 2006 that they did not make the playoffs. Bravo, FSG. Everything seems to be going swimmingly, because since the Red Sox won the World Series 6 years ago, they've been back to the playoffs once. You ended the Penguins' playoff reversal of a drought, their playoff streak. You reverse that curse, put them back on the golf course in April. And Liverpool has been pretty good, I'll give you that. But since they won the league, they have finished second twice. And you had the chance to get the best midfielder in the world, and you didn't pony up the cash. You didn't feel like it. Meanwhile, there's another team that wins the league every other year that Liverpool didn't win it in that league because they pony up the cash. Manchester City. How they do it? I don't know. Don't know. But they haven't really been punished yet. Just saying. And so now they want the Celtics. And that would be catastrophic for Boston fans who are sick of this crap from Fenway Sports Group. And one of the big reasons why this is all 3 of them haven't exactly gone to shit, 2 of them have, is because they have their hands in so many different things. It's those 3 teams, plus their racing team in NASCAR, plus their now $900 million partnership with the PGA Tour. They have their feet in too many pools here, and now they want to add another major one, a.k.a. the most historic franchise in the NBA and the defending NBA champions? No! No freaking way. There is one man in that ownership group that can save the Celtics. In a weird, backwards way, he can do it. He's victimized the Celtics before. He's been victimized by the Celtics before. That man is LeBron James, because he has a small stake in Fenway Sports Group, and therefore a small stake in the Red Sox and Liverpool and the Pittsburgh Penguins and Roush Fenway Racing and the PGA Tour. So if they bought the Celtics this year, LeBron could have no stake in it, obviously. He's a current player in the NBA on a different team. So that can't happen. And LeBron he's already knee deep in an ownership group, and he wants to own a team someday. But he's made it pretty clear he wants to own a team in Vegas. In fact, last year in Vegas, he said the goal is to own a team here one day. He's made it pretty explicitly clear. And I'm sure the lure of putting an NBA team in Vegas would also get John Henry's crypt keeper nipples hard too. So why then go buy the Celtics if LeBron really wants to own a team in Vegas? And a guy who is, by the way, a great NBA mind, who I have no doubt would actually help in owning an NBA team, he can't help you on this one. And by the way, probably doesn't want to even after he does retire. I don't think he wants to own the Celtics. I don't think he's a big fan of Boston or the Celtics. So LeBron's involvement here could keep FSG out of the bidding just long enough for someone else to come in. There is still the thought of Arab oil money, sports washing. Don't love it, but kind of part of the game now. Still don't love it. Or Jeff Bezos, or someone like that, come in, buy the team, and just Amazon our life. But LeBron could be the guy that saves the Celtics from what would be a catastrophic ownership group in Fenway Sports Group. And I know there might be some of you who are watching and listening who either don't follow the Red Sox or you're looking at the sunny side of the Red Sox just like they want you to. And you're saying, I don't get this. The Red Sox had not won a World Series since 1918 before these guys came in. And they fixed up the ballpark and won 4 championships. How can you possibly be mad at that? That's in the past. They had their championship thing. Now they don't care about championships. They care about a business model that survives and makes them the most money. To the point where the only major professional sport that doesn't have a salary cap has the Red Sox, a huge market team, working like a small market team because they don't want to pay the luxury tax. That's our other hero here. Because John Henry, if you buy the Celtics, that luxury tax is coming down the road, whether you like it or not. You would have to completely gut this team to avoid that luxury tax. And say what you want about Wick. He is a businessman. I think he really does care about this team. He's kept a lot of people in place for a long time to ensure continuity and competitiveness with this franchise. He's not one who's just like going to fire a coach on a whim or a GM on a whim. He's going to keep these guys in place because it's what made them successful. I don't think he is going to sell to an owner who is this afraid of a luxury tax that is inevitable for this team. Just don't think so. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm being childish. But that is the other friend of the Celtics in the FSG saga. It's LeBron, and it's that luxury tax and that second apron. Because the Celtics are going to be up against it. So are a lot of other teams. You need someone who is coming in who is ready for that. And someone who, quite frankly, it seems like is going to want a new arena. And this worked beneficially for Liverpool and the Red Sox, but Fenway Sports Group hasn't ventured into new arena territory. In fact, when they owned the Marlins, that was a big issue, is they wanted a new ballpark. They couldn't get it done. Red Sox and Liverpool, they couldn't get it done. The fans didn't want it. The cities didn't want it. And so they fixed up Fenway Park and Anfield, respectively, and that was great. But when it comes to owning the Celtics don't want to be tenants anymore at the Garden. Whoever wants to own this team is going to want to own the arena and maximize the revenue stream. And I don't think FSG is going to want to go through that again. They failed at it before. So LeBron, save us. God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Luxury tax, save us. And anyone else with this kind of money, because that pool is very, very small as to who can own major league teams these days. Please, 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 no more John Henry in our lives. No more John Henry, no more Tom Werner, no more out-of-touch crypt keeper Skeletor John Henry. No more, let's go Red Sox, Cosby apologist Tom Werner. Please stop it. Stop it all. Please do not Red Sox my Celtics right now. Speaking of the Red Sox, Jaron Duran said a no-no word, and it was not good. And Deion Sanders didn't say a no-no word, but is also not a very good person. All that and more coming up on the Cam Show, powered by Rogue Media Sports Network.
We are Rogue Media Sports.